Good morning, thriving warriors. Today is Thursday, the 27th of April, 2023. Let's see, the temperature currently is 55. The high is going to be 92 degrees today, so almost a 40-degree temperature rise. And then getting down into the 60s tonight. So creeping up. All right, so here we are at Career Services, where our goal is to help you get from point A to point B on your journey, where B is better. We do it through a series of nourishing morsels. Trying to think of a word that kind of rhymes. Good morning, Diana, out here at the Oasis for sunrise. Good morning, Jeff. Good to see you. I sent you something about a new person possibly coming from Klamath. Hopefully you can open it. It was encrypted when I got it. And good morning, Charlene. Good morning, people. So this is the first. How do we help you get from point A to point B on your journey? And life is a journey. It's not a sprint. It is not a, it's not a sprint. It's not a marathon. It is a lifelong pursuit. We help you do that through this podcast, but really it's the stuff down below. And we use a metaphor of building a boat to cross the ocean, the predictably unpredictable, hazardous, dangerous ocean. And we get to build a boat that has sails, that has a below deck, that has a rudder, and that has a hull, and that matches with the 4 parts of our program, what we do: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So the sails are the physical part. If your sails don't work, gonna be tough, might not get there. You need to take care of them. You need to keep them in repair. The mental part is like the rudder on the ship, our ability to take control of getting from where we are to where we need to be, to avoid dangers, seek treasure, etc. So mental part for us is learning, remembering, and being able to communicate. Below deck is the place that keeps you nice and safe and warm, and where you have food and you can store your cargo so it's not lashed to the deck above, exposed to the wind and cold and sun and rain, etc., etc. So that's the emotional part. And what we say is, what we help you do is learn to control your emotions. And the idea is that if you can't control your emotions, don't worry, somebody else will, and they'll probably take you out of the game. Well, let's just say they'll hinder your journey. They'll probably hinder your journey. And the last, not really last, certainly not the least, in fact, the most important part of the boat is the hull. That's the thing that keeps you afloat, enables you to go from where you are to someplace else. If the hull is not strong, it will break. Something can puncture the side and crash. Water leaks in. Not good. Everything gets ruined. That's the spiritual part. And for us, it's the belief that Jesus is the Messiah. You just have to believe it. And it works. Good things come to those who believe. All right, so more on that later. But down below in the description, please subscribe, share, thumbs up. You know the thing. Please do all that. That's where the real meat and potatoes are of this, the motivational video, which I watch to prepare for this. Jordan Peterson video. Today it's particularly good. Daily Stoic video, Inc. magazine, TED Talk. Today, it's Yuval Harari, Why Humans Control the Planet. We have Baraka Church. We have Seth Godin. Let's see, what else? A fable, Aesop's Fable. The blog, Seth's blog post, a whole bunch of stuff. So take the time during the day to go through this, and I will promise you, I can promise you that your life, your journey will be better. All right, so moving right along, let's get started here at 4:47, kind of a long intro, but we included the metaphorical boat. But now we need to get ready to hoist the sail. Well, not really good metaphor, but get our coffee, French press with my MCT oil pen. I use the multicolor pen paper because we need to write stuff down. It doesn't work if you don't write stuff down. Pen, book, paper. Let's get ready to go. So today's simple, let's see, Todd says he's watching. I don't know why he doesn't put it in the chat box, but good. Today's simple message. You want to get from point A to point B, a little morsel to grab out of the ocean with our net. Grab it, chomp on it. Good morsel. Good cracker. It's simple. You want to get for help, get you from point A to point B. It's simple. Per an 80-year-old, advice from an 80-year-old. It's simple. Keep it simple. Next, moving on to our attitude of gratitude, please write down, I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. And then ask yourself, ask your brain, what am I so happy and grateful for right now? Well, since Todd is listening, I will be happy and grateful when he removes the license plate and the aromatic stuff from the table. It's been sitting here for over a week. No, more than 2 weeks. Okay, but not really. That's just kind of a nudge. I am so happy and grateful that it's a beautiful day outside. The colors are great, but that's not really what we're looking for. We're looking for something kind of unique for today. So today I will be once again heading to Las Vegas haircut thing. And hopefully meeting with some of our people down there, have a meeting with Rosalie Bingham, who has a project that is symbiotic possibly with ours, maybe synergy. So there's that. Jeff, if you're interested in meeting after noon, like maybe around 3, as I'm heading up, I'm not sure where I'm going to be, but let me know. Let's, of course, once again, get on everybody for payment, especially Jaden, Tom, and EJ, and the other new people. It's shape up or ship out to go with our metaphor. All right, next on our hit parade is the TED Talk. Today's TED Talk, Yuval Harari, Why Humans Control the Planet. Really big one on a macro level, but also on a micro level. Why do humans control the planet? Because only humans are able to cooperate flexibly in large numbers. Ants and bees and other insects can cooperate in large numbers, but not flexibly. They have one way of doing things. It's very difficult for them to change. And then there's the social mammals that can cooperate flexibly, but not in large numbers. So Yuval Harari gives the example of one human or 2 humans on a deserted island versus 2 chimpanzees. Who will do better? The chimpanzees. But make it 20 humans versus 20 chimpanzees, and the humans easily win. And then if you put 100,000 chimpanzees in Wembley Stadium, you get utter chaos, versus humans, you get sophisticated behavior. So only humans are able to cooperate flexibly in large numbers. But how does that help? Well, we invent stories that we believe. And if we all believe the same story, then it works. For example, money is a story. We can have a dollar bill. You can take a dollar bill, give it to a complete stranger, and buy bananas. No chimpanzee will do that. They will not trade a banana for a worthless piece of paper. Laws are stories that we believe in. Human rights are an example. He gives us stories that we believe in. He'll say you cut open a body, you'll see neurons, you'll see organs, you'll see bones, but you won't find any human rights. It's something we've created. How is it that humans are the only ones that can create stories that they believe? Well, because we have we're able to see the world in a dual way. Objective reality, like all animals, but subjective reality. For example, you'll never see two chimpanzees say, let's go off and look at the sunset. They don't create art. They don't do things like that. They live in an objective reality world. We're able to live in a subjective reality world, so we can create stories. How are we able to create stories? Well, now we switch over to Susanna Herculano, and it's because we have more neurons than they do. And why do we have more neurons? According to Susanna Herculano, it's because we cook our food. So we get the same number of calories in far fewer time, which gives us the benefit of time, where we can solve problems. We can use our brain to help us solve problems. And the oldest problem was survival. So anyway, that's Yuval Harari. That's the TED Talk for today. Time is racing. We are at 11 minutes. Let's go to Seth Godin. The braid of balance. What is a braid? Like a hair braid, a braid that's in a rope. Makes it stronger. It's not just strands, but it's interwoven strands that make it stronger. There are 3 strands present for most everyone. Power, sometimes seen as status or the appearance of status. Safety, survival and peace of mind. Meaning, hope and the path forward. Those are the 3 braids, the 3 strands in the braid. And Seth is saying, in life, you have to have this. So for us, it would be 4 strands: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. We would say we have 4 strands, but he's talking about here 3. The changes in our media structure, public health, and economy have pushed some people to overdo one or the other and perhaps ignore a third. When a social network finds your butt and presses it over and over, it's hard to resist. New cultural forces catch on because they hit on one or more of these, and politics is understood through the lens as well. So the braid, and it's see the braid, and it's a lot easier to figure out why we might be stressed. Okay, that was more of an intellectual one. Got to look at that one a few times. Let's switch over to our fable. Aesop's fable, The Cat and the Birds. A cat was growing very thin. Let me increase the screen a little bit. Okay. A cat was growing very thin. As you have guessed, he did not get enough to eat. One day he heard that some birds in the neighborhood were ailing and needed a doctor. So he put on a pair of spectacles and with a leather box in his hand, knocked at the door of the birds' home. The birds peeped out, and Dr. Cat, with much solicitude, asked how they were. He would be very happy to give them some medicine. Tweet, tweet, laughed the birds. Very smart, aren't you? We are very well, thank you, and more so if only you keep away from here. The moral of the story is, be wise and shun the quack. That's from the bird's point of view. Aesop's tale, different time, different place. Here's what I say to you. If the cat put as much effort into finding food as he put into pretending to be a doctor, he wouldn't be hungry. Exclamation point. This is an example of the second law of power, never give up power. The cat went from being a fearsome hunter to a joke. You is what you is. The birds could have made a trade with the cat. Hey, well, if you do this, we'll give you food. We'll give you this to eat. Let's work together. Good system. All right. Prayer for the day. Let's just focus on one prayer. 1 John 1:9. Baraka Church is what they call rebound, or part of the rebound process. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. We are human So we fall short of the mark. This is a way to get back in fellowship. You can do it throughout the day. All righty then. Next, where are we? Where are we at? Okay, let's go, Diana, to the Navy SEAL Maxim because time is racing. The helots are lining up outside the door because we're a little bit late. Henry Smith is there. Good, Todd. Diana, yesterday. Okay, so you want to get from point A to point B. Simple. Next morsel out of the ocean. It's simple. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace the suck. Do a little bit more. Make people's lives easier. Don't manipulate people into doing what you want them to do for you. Have an attitude of what can I do for you. Finally, Charlene, you're up if you're still there. What is it? When is the journey over? When is the journey over? Is Charlene there? Come in, Charlene. We can't. Okay, the journey is over when our heart stops beating. Until then, if you're still here, God isn't through with you yet. This has nothing to do with salvation. That is by grace and grace alone. This is, if you're here, God has a plan for you, and keep going at it every day. And so, can I get an and cut? And cut. There's Charlene. Thank you. And cut.